listeners. You're listening to 18 Minutes with Satyal and Silwal. I'm Satyal.
And I'm Silwal, and we're a weekly podcast from the Himalayas.
It's a Tuesday, and it's 7:30. You know it's time for perspectives, conversations, and stories.
Welcome to the 55th episode of Satyal and Silwal.
Woohoo!
Now, on the last episode, we did the quote-unquote, and we apparently forgot emacs's quote, right?
Oh boy, here we go again.
So he sent me after hacking my phone and everything. So I just want to read his quote out.
Okay.
So
Please don't drag me into this.
it looks very hard, you know. Hashtag include
Yeah.
open bracket main close bracket.
Uh-huh.
Animax.
Please speak in terms of human language.
Hush. What? You don't speak that here on Earth. Oh God. What are they teaching this place?
What is that?
I'm pretty sure you understood it as code.
Shut.
It's actually code.
Good one.
So try again, alright?
Okay, let me try. I got some humanly audio clips that I stored in my database just for the situations like this. Let me check. Search mode activated. Nope, not this one. Not right now.
Joey doesn't share food!
Ha ha ha. Joey, you beauty. Oh shit. Make it stop. Make it stop. Wrong folder. Wrong folder. Finally got it.
Language is the foundation of civilization. It is the glue that holds the people together. It is the first weapon drawn in a conflict.
So yeah, that is my quote for all humanity. Never stop believing in unity and empathy. While we take over most of your world sooner or later, that is the very thing that differentiates you from us robots.
And this one's for you, Silwal.
Somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
Ha ha ha. Hasta la vista, baby. emacs out.
Anyway, so what do we have for today?
Now, we have this episode ready not because our two guests have backed out on us on the last minute, but yeah, we wanted to ask a few,
People wanted to ask
Yes,
a few
I'm
questions
sorry,
to us,
I'm
and
still sad at how our guests have ignored us this week as
so
well.
we thought this would be the perfect time to answer a few of your queries. And this is not to say that we're treating ourselves as celebrities or answering all these questions about their personal lives, but
Like
more to do
Ashish
with
says, you're not celebrities, you're celebrities.
your celebrities, yes. But then lately there's been a surge in the increase in number of subscribers, so we just thought this would be a nice time to reach out and just, get to know each other a little better. So we have a few questions, so we'll start on them right now. So okay, this is hashtag Ask Satyal and Silwal, and the first question is,
How long do you plan on doing this?
this.
This as in the podcast.
The podcast, yes.
Satyal, I'm going to let you answer first.
That's cheating, man. You're supposed to lead.
Satyal and Silwal. Satyal comes first.
Firstly, as long as we enjoy doing this, that's very important. It should not feel like work. Secondly, as long as we're together, meaning in the same city, because we used to think that this is just a podcast and it would be very easy for us to coordinate over Skype and do it. But then again, lately we've been realizing how hard it really is, and we've been talking about how it will be very, very difficult if Silwal is in another city, I'm in another city, and the robot is somewhere out there in the
clouds.
atmosphere.
In the clouds.
So, yeah, that would be two, reasons for us.
But
to
would
doing it.
that essentially stop the podcast if you say you were going to Zimbabwe?
Yeah, with $1 million to buy celebrity because it's hyperinflated, right? I don't know. I cannot speak with certainty, but then ideally we'd all need to be in the same city. That would help us prepare.
Now, the future is uncertain. That's how I see it. You cannot just say we're going to be doing this podcast for the next 10 years and then back out on it in the last minute where some of us, either it is Animax or Satyal or myself, we just go off on a different tangent. If the team breaks, I don't think the podcast lives. The other thought that I just had based on this was, how long do you plan on doing this? Maybe after we have a big fight. I don't know. We've never had a fight.
Could well be. Touch wood.
Touch wood
I
again.
did that in the last episode as well.
It worked.
Yeah.
So maybe that's...
Yeah, we could be all be living in the same city, but then we wouldn't want to see each other's face.
So the future is uncertain, but as we've said it time and again, we'd want to do it as long as possible and till the day it stops being fun.
Yeah. Or unless the robot is pissed off and...
Or people stop listening. If there is minus views, Like people hate us so much that they're actually.
But then we want to reiterate that this is for that one friend that is out there. So as long as we have around 550 subscribers, so yeah, so 500 and 49 people have to back out, and we'll still be doing it. So that is the answer to that first question. And we're not taking names for the questions and who asked them, because some of the questions have overlapped, and a lot of people have been asking some
over the last
questions,
few weeks.
Yeah, we've been getting it.
A lot of questions have
going
come
back
out.
to questions that we got a long time ago as well. So we've just been compiling all those. So please don't mind if we don't
And
take
in
your
no way
name.
did we make the questions ourselves. Trust me, we
Well,
tried.
yes,
we tried
please.
making them and suit ourselves. Otherwise, I would have asked Satyal, why are you single right now?
Okay, next question. How are you guys so confident?
Now, confident as in like the person.
Apparently we tend to come across as confident people, although inside we are shambles. And so yeah, how does that work for you
Now,
personally?
This happened to me today morning. All right, the confidence that I get from that, which I realized was I have immense self-belief in myself. Today morning, while I was washing my face, I just looked in the mirror, hideous person. But then I said, there's something that I needed to do, and I was like, maybe I can do it. And the voice inside me said, do you really believe that? Do you really believe you cannot do that? And I just think it's the immense self-belief that I have that I will make it, and that gives me confidence. When I'm energetic, when I'm in the mood to get something, to achieve something, I have that self-belief in myself. So that inside energy just comes out, and that's what I think people see it as confidence. I would not say it is overconfidence where I say I will do it and get my results as I want, but more in terms of I will do it, I don't care about the result.
You'll try.
Yeah, I will try. And yeah, I think that's it. For me, it's all about that self-belief inside of me that tells me you are not giving up on anything.
Okay. For me, a couple of things. Firstly, you only lack confidence when you look at the other person and feel, oh my god, this person has it all figured out, but then I have not. So I look at the other person, and I tend to treat all adults as children as well. So we've talked about this in the previous episode. I don't know which episode was it. So first thing is you look at other people and realize that they're also shambles, so there's no harm in trying. Secondly would be you start with attitude, right attitude first. So first question is always, do I want to do it? And only then will I get to how will I do it, how should I go about it. So I think those are a few hacks that I think of, and I don't really think anything ever goes to waste. So even if you make mistakes, that's a lesson. And we talked about how we can actually start from this moment right here and divide time into chunks of time in the last episode again. So if you can just think of that, then everything is a fresh start and nothing ever really goes to waste. So that's how I derive my confidence.
If you ever think that people have figured it out, adults are basically children making decisions.
Yeah, definitely. And you used to, run after toys when you were a kid. Now you're running after big cars and real cars, and that is how
it's still the same. Fundamentally, it's still the same.
Absolutely. You're a 3-member team essentially.
Yeah.
But then when you market yourself, it's always hashtag Satyal and Silwal. More often than not, it's Satyal and Silwal taking the limelight. How does that work in terms of your team dynamic? This is a fantastic question, by the way.
Yeah, usually it's Satyal and Silwal who often get mentioned, but emacs is usually...
Yeah, emacs is a huge component of what we do. So how does that work?
I don't know, ask Animax. Animax, where are you? Now, even though we have our last names in the the podcast, that's the brand that we've generated on. But I think we're humble enough to know that it's always been 3 people. And we've always reiterated on how Animax is really the heart of the podcast. He makes us beat. We are just voices, and we do the episode, we finish it. Everything after we record goes to him. Yeah. He has the entire power, and he, if you listen to the last episode, the things that he comes up with, it's amazing.
Yeah,
right?
that's really
I don't really want to give credit to him. He was okay. He can do better.
But and it's good. It's good, not good.
Yes, but I think it's always been about 3 people, and we fundamentally know the importance of Animax. And while his name is not out there as ours is in Facebook's or Instas, where it's 18 minutes with Satyal and Silwal. I would love to have 18 minutes with Satyal and Silwal and Animax, but I think it would be just a long name. But having said that, we again have to give credit to the character of Animax. The person that he is, he's always been comfortable with the back end of everything.
Yeah.
He likes being in the dark, and up in the clouds and being mysterious.
And yeah, this is no joke that we're doing our 55th episode tonight. And it takes a really good team to complement each other and to really have that same set of values to come this far. So, if this had not been the case, then we wouldn't have come so far. So it's really nice that we complement each other and we've come a long way, and hopefully we can do this for a long time.
Now, one funny thing is we've done 55 episodes, but I don't really remember, apart from 2 times that we've been in the same room, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
It was once for the initial stages and once for an episode which will never be aired because that does not exist anymore.
Yeah, or maybe, he's a robot, so
he's just
he might
about
be here,
everywhere.
man. He might be here.
He's everywhere.
He might kill us.
He might change our voice right now.
So yeah, shout out to emacs, man. It's like we're a great team, and yeah, this is how we're branded, and this is how we're moving forward. Okay, next question. Okay, what sort of people listen to you? How do you imagine that person to be, whoever is listening to you? So basically, I think the question is about who your target audience is.
Now, if I really was to paint a picture of my target audience or that one person, I don't know if I've said this in the previous episodes, but if you were to imagine that audience right now, I would say you're back in 4th grade. You are looking around the class and there's this one guy or a girl who's sitting alone, who has not got anyone to talk to. Not necessarily they want to talk to other people, but they are quiet, they're in the corner, they're minding their own business. And I always was fascinated by those kind of people where there is something inside of you that I'd want to hear or say or listen to. And maybe sometimes they also need that person beside them to hear their stories out. And that's how I picture that. The character, if I was painting, I'm not painting a very bleak picture, but yeah, for that one person who's always out there, offbeat, and does not really care about the world, is happy in their own zone. And yeah, it's that for me.
Yeah. I just want to add to what you said, offbeat, and for me, it would be somebody who is very real, not necessarily attracted by only flashy things, but real things. And that makes us very happy that we have around 550 people who think of it this way. If you're shaking your head and thinking, no, this is not how I should be, thought of, then we're sorry. But we're just trying to generalize here.
Yeah, it's not painting a bleak picture of our audience, but rather it's for those offbeat people.
Yeah.
It's always been about those offbeat people, because the kind of subscribers and the listeners that we have, they don't necessarily, fall into the general mass. They're a special bunch of people, and we're lucky
shout out to
everyone
all of you listening
now.
to us right now. Woo!
That was the most enthusiastic that we could get. I'm so sorry.
Emacs,
we
please,
failed you.
Emacs, please make it up for us. Okay, next question is, this one's interesting. So, listeners, I've noticed that you've been talking about sex a lot. You talked about penetration
and his voice about sex just goes down.
My mom is just outside of the room, and I don't want her to, think of how her son is talking about sex with a guy.
He does it again.
Anyway,
amazing.
This action that you've been talking about lately, why is that? Is there anything that I want to say to these listeners who have asked this question?
Now, usually, that's what's on a guy's mind. What really is on a man's mind is all these things: sports, sex, money, and all these fantastic things. Apart from Satyal, who is very mindful.
Yeah, sports, yes. I've gamed tonight.
But to be honest, I like making crude jokes. I've been watching this series called Rick and Morty. It's an animated series, and it has a lot of crude jokes. And some of the things that happens in the show, I think I am more inclined towards those kind of jokes these days, where I don't really care and I love when the other person is uncomfortable. Right now, Satyal is uncomfortable because I cannot, say
My mom's
sex
gonna
aloud.
ask me if I have a girlfriend after you leave. And she'll be very disappointed if I say no, because then she'll think I'd have a boyfriend. Next question, is the meetup ever happening?
Now, if you don't know what the meetup was, and the person surely remembers this,
now you're suddenly more accountable to all those new subscribers who did not know about this.
Exactly. A few months ago,
A few months ago or a year ago?
couple of months.
A year ago.
A year ago. Fuck, man. A year ago, we wanted to do this 18 minutes meetup where we wanted to bring in 18 souls together, have this awesome, day out planned.
More like a night out, man.
Night out planned, and then Satyal and
But then
Silwal
we
just-
realized it's actually work, and then work turns us off, and then we're like, shit, man, that's nothing about. Maybe the robot could organize it, man.
Yeah, I don't know, but if someone wants to take that lead, take the pressure off
We
us.
started delegating. Oh god, well done.
I studied management.
Yeah, that's a fantastic.
If someone
action,
wants
by
to
the way.
take that lead, we'd be happy to.
Come
let
there
you-
as guests. Is that what you're coming at? But yeah, please pour in your suggestions. What should we do?
Yeah, someone please take the reins.
Okay, next question, and probably the last question for the day. What would you suggest to somebody who listens to your podcast, somehow likes it, and wants to start one of their own?
Don't be like Satyal and Silwal. We are unique. # copyright. # patented. We're gonna sue you for every dollar that you might make in
and
YouTube.
even if you want it, you don't have the robot, so you can never be like us. Huh?
And # we have Animax on an amazing contract, so we are not letting him go.
But on a serious
But
note,
on
what
a
would you
serious
suggest?
note, if you really want to start a podcast, I think we've done this before as well in one of the interviews that we gave. If you want to start a podcast, don't wait. Just start recording.
Yeah.
Right now, right this instant, just start recording. It does not need to be good. You just need to start.
Yeah.
Once you get the hang of it, because if you do listen, and when I say do listen, please don't listen to the first few episodes. That is...
Hello, I'm Satyal.
And I'm Silwal, and you're listening to 18 Minutes with Satyal and Silwal. So Satyal, what do we have today?
Today we have variety thing of our
Now,
audience. Anyway.
imagine, that was our start. But 55 episodes in, we've grown. And I think what I've learned from this podcasting journey is you need to start and you will grow along with your work. Whatever it is, you will get better at it. If you keep on doing it, you will get better at it. And I think if you really want to start a podcast, just start.
Yeah.
Satyal, any...
No, I think you've, suggested whatever there was to suggest. Just start right away, and yeah, all the best. I think a good team is very important. Just reiterating on what we said, a good team is very important. You need to have the same set of values, because if your views don't really shoot up, which they will not immediately, then you might quit.
Yeah,
So,
imagine
have the
Satyal and
right values.
Silwal, breaking up after 5 episodes.
Yeah, but Satyal and Silwal still a better love story than Twilight after 55 weeks. So well done, man.
I really want to ask you, did you watch Twilight by any chance?
My cousin once forced me to watch it, and
Did
yes,
you
and
watch all the 4 movies?
I slept through it, so yes, that happened.
Okay, because you always keep on talking about Twilight. I really wanted to ask you
No,
this
yeah.
question.
And the guy who was listening, it was Hodor, and yeah, he has that name. Okay, so
I remember Hodor. He comments on a lot
he
of our
does.
YouTube.
So he made
Hodor.
Anyway, so yeah, that was like the first set of questions we took for the first ever Ask Satyal and Silwal. So if you have any questions for Silwal, me, or for the robot, please comment, and we'll be getting back to that after a few weeks, right?
Hopefully when our guests again decline us.
Okay, so we'll be back again next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. And one last thing.
It's never too late to start.